Welcome back. All right, so we got 6 games in the National Hockey League tonight, and then got a bunch tomorrow. And it's a full day of hockey tomorrow, and I'll be doing the preview after this review is done. It goes live on the channel in the morning. All right, so we're going to start things off with the game that I'm sure everybody is just waiting for me to talk about. It's Philadelphia and Ottawa. It's a key game. You have Jones versus Forsberg. You have no Giroux, no Chabot. Giroux, of course, being held out because they're likely to trade him. Chabot with a broken hand. So, yeah, it was a bit short on star power, but it wasn't a bad game. Early power play for the Flyers. It's a delay game call. Forsberg saves a tricky deflection there, which kind of bounced up on him there. Killed off. There's just the one shot. The shots are 3-2 Philadelphia at 5 minutes. Norris is denied from in close. Brandstrom fires high as the Senators press. Forsberg denies Farabee. York takes a puck to the throat and exits. That didn't look great. It deflected before it hit him in the throat. So, but again, that doesn't look great. The Senators, like which team? Senators open the scoring at Stützle from Formenton and Connor Brown at 10:45, and he wires it right under the bar. It's 1-0 Ottawa. JVR then has a rush chance that's saved on the very next shift. Power play for Philadelphia. That's killed off. Also only gets the one shot. Forsberg juggles a Willman shot, but it stays out. So another one that, is close. Norris can't bury one from in close with 1:05 left. The Senators get a power play. So that rolls over into the second period where the Flyers do finish the kill. Hayes has a net drive that's held. Stützle fires wide on a rush. It is Atkinson tying the game. He scores from Braun and Van Riemsdyk at 6:10. And it was a nice goal there by Atkinson. Not much chance for Forsberg on that. Norris then has a net feed that's defended. The Flyers rush on that. Tkachuk has a shot that deflects out. White has a rush chance that's saved and held. Sens with a 3-on-1. Watson then has a chance that's saved and held on to as well. I thought Jones played well, for what it's worth. Flyers press with 2 minutes left. Last minute, Gambrell has a shot that's saved. And then there's a post and out on a shot for Zub. So coming out of the second period, it's tied at 1. We go to the third. Early press by the Sens. The shots are 3-2 in their favor 4 minutes into the period. Norris can't bury one in close. We get some pushing and shoving after a save by Jones. Risto and Tkachuk, they hug. The refs are upset with that, so they both go to the box. It's basically hugging. And I have to say, Tkachuk and Norris were on the same line, and it hit me. Tkachuk-Norris. Why did it take me this long to realize how fantastic that is? Anyway, whole other topic. Formenton and Braun then had a sword fight, so they get offsetting penalties, and by which I mean they're hockey sticks, so that's what I'm talking about. Although, you'd probably go to the box for them one too. Anyways, Sens get a power play at 17 seconds, 4-on-3, and then it's 5-on-4 after that. During the 5-on-4, Norris scores from Brandstrom and Connor Brown at 9:16. So that's the second assist for Brown. Flyers go over 8 minutes without a shot. Atkinson then has a tip that's saved and held on a rush. 6:02 left. We get another Sens power play. After that kill, the Flyers get a power play. They pull the goaltender to make it 6-on-4. During that 6-on-4, Formenton gets an empty netter that's also a shorthanded goal from Zaitsev at 17:22. Flyers call a timeout. They pull the goalie. We get some big saves by Forsberg while he was without a stick, but in the end, Ottawa does hold on. They win this one 3-1. They go to 22-34-5 with the win. Philadelphia 19-31-11 with the loss. The shots 11-9 Ottawa in the first, 12-9 Ottawa in the second, 12-10 Ottawa in the third. Final shots 35-28 Ottawa. Power plays Philadelphia 0-for-3, Ottawa 1-for-3. The hits 18-17 Ottawa. Jones saves 32 out of 34. Forsberg saves 27 out of 28. So yeah, it wasn't a bad game. It was kind of fun to watch, and it was one of only 2 games that started early today. The other one being Washington and Carolina. Washington came out and they controlled most of this game. This score, I really thought it kind of flattered Carolina because Washington controlled a lot of this game. Samsonov versus Ranta in this one. Brendan Smith's throwing some big early hits. He recently came back from injury for Carolina, so he's out there hitting, which also... The other side of that is if a guy's out there throwing hits, you're talking about how great the hits are, that means Washington's got the puck. So Niederreiter has a miss on an open net. Svechnikov attempts the Michigan, falls off of his stick though. Weird glass bounces at both ends of the ice, where it was bouncing off the glass and off of the boards and just weird bounces. Jensen's denied. The puck goes the other way. Jarvis would score from Lawrence at 5:17 on a nice net drive opportunity. That was his first goal in 19 games. Shots are 6-2 for the Capitals at 6 minutes. And then Kuznetsov at 7:32. He puts one over Ronta from a sharp angle. This was, I can say it's during a delayed penalty, but the ref had just put his arm up before Kuznetsov fires it, so it's not like the sixth guy's on the ice. And yeah, we get another weird bounce off the glass / boards on the next shift. Aho has a rush chance saved, and then Carlson would score to make it 2-0, or 2-1, I should say, in favor of the Capitals from McMichael and Hathaway at 10:45. And then Trevor Van Riemsdyk tries to go for another. We get 2 minutes of 4-on-4. Svechnikov's denied. Aho fires one wide with 2:05 left. Mantha makes it 4-on-4. There was a delayed penalty on Carolina, and Mantha goes over, and yeah, that was a legit penalty. Makes it 4-on-4. He wasn't happy with the call, but the ref's right there, and he's watching. So, yeah, so that made it a 4-on-4. Sherry's a one-timer that saved. Both teams miss on 3-on-1s in the final minute of the period. 2.2 seconds left. The Canes get a power play. So that rolls over into the second period, where the Capitals finish off the kill. Sprong hits a crossbar and the post. It's no goal, although the referee called it a goal at the time. And it's so fast that I totally understand how referees call goals when they're not. On the instant replay where we can see it in slow motion, we can go, come on, what was he looking at? Yeah, at full speed when it's a 90-mile-an-hour shot, or even 80, probably some of them look like they're in. Shots are 6-1 for the Caps at 6 minutes. So again, both periods, the first and second, the Capitals are off to the fast start, and they're dominating, but they're only ahead by 1. Canes press at 6.5 minutes, and eventually they get the goal. It's Trocheck from Barrett, 7:06. Capitals get a power play. Kuznetsov has a blasted save. That's killed off. Mantha with a net feed to Backstrom. That's cleared. And then at 19:47, Samsonov nearly saves this one. It's Jarvis from Stahl and Svechnikov. So 13 seconds left in the second. All of a sudden, Carolina's got a lead in a game where after the second period, they were being outshot 22-12. So Carolina taking advantage of their opportunities when they show up. We go to the third. Smith hits Kuznetsov. The Capitals were unhappy with this. I would imagine Capitals fans weren't very happy with it either. Not that it was a dirty hit, but Kuznetsov's head hit the dasher on the board there. It was, how do I put this? I don't think it was a dirty hit. But it was one of those ones that it's kind of too bad he threw it exactly where he did, and the angle and everything, and so hopefully Kuznetsov's okay. Canes get a power play. That's killed off. Backstrom has a rush chance that's saved. Blocked, I should say. Ovechkin, he had a chance that was saved and held on to. Shea with a net feed. That's cleared out. The Capitals rush. Caps press at 9.5 minutes. Ronta holds during that. Svechnikov can't bury one from in close, but the Capitals would get a power play, and that allows Ovechkin to continue to add to his all-time record of power play goals. I think this is his 281st in his career. He gets it from Backstrom at 14:56, and then the Capitals press for the lead. So we end up going to overtime. In overtime, Capitals control on the faceoff. Backstrom has a shot blocked. Mantha has one that's saved and held onto. Aho defends a Kuznetsov break. The Caps are controlling the overtime. Wilson's denied. With 1:38 left, the Capitals get a power play. The Canes call a timeout. And then with 19.8 seconds left, there's a Caps penalty. It's Kuznetsov that goes to the box. So again, he did return to the game with that kind of situation, though. You never know when it might crop up after the game. So again, I hope Kuznetsov's okay. But what that does is it makes it so it's back to 3-on-3. We end up going to a shootout. In the shootout, Ovechkin gets the winner. So your final score is 4-3 for the Caps in a shootout. They go to 35-18-10 with the win, so that's 80 points for them. Carolina 41-14-6 with the shootout loss. Your shots in this one favor Washington the whole way through. 14-6 in the first, 8-6 in the second, 14-7 in the third, 4-1 in the overtime. Final shots 40-20 for Washington. Power plays, Washington 1 for 3. Carolina 0 for 2. The hits 31-26 for Washington. Samsonov saved 17 out of 20. Ronta saved 37 out of 40. Samsonov's in the 3 stars. Because sure, Ronta was not. So I thought that was odd. I didn't document the 3 stars tonight because there's just the 6 games. I knew I was going to fill up these boards, but still, I thought that was an odd one. Definitely a head scratcher. Next up, Boston in against the Winnipeg Jets, and they almost Boston this one. So it's Ullmark versus Hellebuck. The Heritage jerseys being worn by the Jets. Love those jerseys. Everybody knows that. Studnicka's on the top line without Bergeron. So they call up Studnicka and they put him on the top line. And I get it. Because the last game, Nosek was on the top line. He's a hard worker. He's not a top line center. He doesn't have that level of skill. Studnicka has that potential. So you might as well see if he's able to realize that, because the trade deadline's coming up on Monday. So if this doesn't work, you've got a couple of days here to come up with a trade and add somebody. Cops denied. Early press by the Jets. Lazar gets shaken up in a collision. Bruins press at 3.5 minutes. Ehlers with a penalty shot. Ullmark saves there. Nice save by Ullmark. At 7 minutes into this, the shots are 3-3, so evenly played. Connor has a chance that saved. Strawn cycle killed during a Jets power play. So that power play for the Jets, it had its opportunities. It ends up kind of, well, I can't say it 100% cost them. Sure. Special teams kind of cost Winnipeg the game tonight. Yeah, I'll say that. Bruins get a power play that's killed off. It had 4 shots on goal. And Frederick can't bury one from in close. So after the first period, it's scoreless. Second period, early edge for the Jets. Coyle has a chance to save. The Bruins press. And then eventually on a 3-on-1, they score to open the scoring, make it 1-0. It's Marchand from DeBrusk and Studnicka at 4:42. So Studnicka with an assist there. Jets press for an answer. However, at 7:12, it's Frederick getting the second goal. Coyle and Smith with the assists. So here's the problem. That is the 8th shot of the period for Boston. The Jets, despite having some edge early on, they didn't get a shot. They still don't have a shot to this point in the second period. They would kind of remedy that in that they get a couple of shots before the period's out, a few shots before the period's out. Connor has a net feed. That wouldn't go. Jets get a power play. There's a post for Frederick, shorthanded. Boston kills that off. Jets press. They draw a third power play. And then we end up with 1 minute and 33 seconds of 4-on-4. Dubois goes to the box. He argues the entire way to the box. He's pretty sure he didn't do it. So he wasn't happy. Scheifele's denied. Pasternak's then denied at the other end right after. Everything gets killed off. The Bruins press. Wheeler has a shot that's saved and held. Foligno can't bury on a net drive. Marchand's denied. And that was a good shot after a turnover by the Jets. So coming out of the second period, it's 2-0 for Boston. But they Boston it. Third period. Near miss by Lowry is the Jets press, but Svechnikov doesn't miss. He gets a goal from Schmidt at 2 minutes and 29 seconds. The Jets press to tie, and during a 3-on-2, they score. It is Ehlers from Connor at 3:54, so Nick Ehlers ties up the game. And yeah, the Bruins, they blow the lead in the third. This has been a problem for Boston over the last few weeks, where yes, they're getting some wins, but that full 60-minute game can be elusive at times. Lazar has a chance that's saved and held. The Jets get a power play at 6:59. There's a pile up at the Bruins net. Somehow the puck stays out. They do kill that off. 4 shots for the Jets on that power play. With 8:03 left, the Bruins press. They draw their third power play. Strong penalty kill by the Jets and by Andrew Kopp. They kill that off. But the Bruins go back to the power play with 5:29 left. It's a delay of game call, and this one they score on. It's Hall from Coyle and McAvoy at 15:13. So that puts Boston back into the lead. So the Jets pull the goalie with 1 minute and 40 seconds left. With 1 minute and 26 seconds left, the Jets get a power play and eventually it becomes a 6-on-4. They didn't pull Hellebuck right away. They wanted to make sure they got the offensive zone first. You have to make sure you get possession. But when they pull the goaltender, that allows McAvoy to hit the empty net at 19:29 from Nosek and Coyle. And Boston wins this one 4-2. They go to 38-19-5 with the win. It's a tough loss for the Jets, 28-24-10. Much like Vancouver, Winnipeg needs to keep winning at an incredible rate if they're going to finish above that playoff line. So this loss, it hurts. Your shots in this one, 14-11 Boston in the first, 22-4 Boston in the second. Winnipeg, they outshot Boston 14-9 in the third. Final shots, 45-29 for Boston. Power plays, 1 for 4 for Boston, 0 for 5 for Winnipeg. Hits 33-19 for Winnipeg. Ullmark saves 27 out of 29. Hellebuck saves 41 out of 44. And he had a good night, but Boston, they poured it on. Again, in that second period, they managed to get the 2 goals, and then they get that power play goal in the third to prevent the collapse, which has happened to them a few times over the last few weeks. That being said, I need to change boards. Okay, so Buffalo and Calgary. As you can see, I managed to fill up the board with notes. I can do that. So it's Tokarski versus Markstrom in this one. Early Flames power play, that's killed off. In fact, at 4.5 minutes, the shots are 2-1 for the Sabres. So the Sabres did a good job of A, killing off that penalty, and B, keeping the Flames' chances to a minimum. And they did that a lot tonight. Gaudreau has a net drive, that saved. Okposo has a chance that deflects right to Markstrom. Strong road period, limiting Flames' chances, as I said. Zadorov misses wide in the final minute, and then Okposo with a net feed, that wouldn't quite go. It's scoreless after 1. Second period. Early press by the Flames. Tkachuk has a net feed that's defended. Skinner has a rush chance that's saved. Asplund, net drive, that's kicked out. Sabres get a power play. That is unsuccessful. The shots are 5 apiece with 9.5 minutes left. And again, it really didn't feel like the Flames got anything going all night, which, as a Canuck fan, terrifies me because they play in Vancouver tomorrow. Hinostroza is denied from the slot. Cousins is denied on a break, but he draws a power play as well. The Flames kill that off. Good penalty kill by the Flames there. And coming out of the second period, we are still scoreless. Third period. Coleman has a rush chance that's defended. Mittelstadt has a net drive that's defended as well. Asplund with a chance that's saved. The rebound's cleared. The Flames press at 3 minutes. The Sabres get a power play. Things get kind of scrummy after a save by Markstrom. There wasn't very much of that in this game, though. Flames, they end up killing off that penalty, so the Sabres were 0 for 3 at that point. That would be their final power play as well. Zadorov has a chance that's saved and held. There's a shoulder save then by Markstrom on a drive by Tuck. Lindholm can't bury one. Tanev gets robbed as well. Game's opening up in the second half. Skinner's denied. The Sabres press. There's another save on Skinner, and the Flames clear it out. And about this point, they show a graphic that Tokarski's only got 1 career shutout. I see what you were doing there, Sportsnet. It didn't work. You're trying to jinx the goaltenders, what you're doing right there. Anyways, fans call a penalty. The ref disagrees, so they shower the referee with adoration and cheers of, yeah, you're right. They didn't. Pressed by the Flames, and then a rush chance by Tuck was saved. Olofsson tips one high. The Flames rush. Sabres blocking, pressuring well. So the puck pressure was really good. Calgary didn't have a lot of time where they were allowed to really get creative out there. Of course, Yarncroke as well was absolutely robbed. So Tokarski had a pretty good game. Sabres blocking, pressuring, and then Tkachuk misses one high. The Sabres then get the rush after that. Gaudreau in alone. He misses high as well. So it looked like the Flames had a spot they were aiming for on the net, and instead they were missing the net altogether. But they still got a number of shots on that net. None in overtime, though. In overtime, Sabres controlling the faceoff. Tuck has a chance saved. The Sabres keep it. Thompson fires high. The Flames are pinned down. So now the Sabres are just changing out their lines, and the Flames can't change anybody. Markstrom covers it at 141. At this point, it was all Sabres, but he covers it. He gets the faceoff. 2 of the players on the ice had been on the ice since the start of the overtime. It looked like crisis was averted. However, the Sabres controlling the next faceoff as well. Flames finally get it, but Toffoli, he can't bury it. And then the puck goes the other way. Markstrom comes out of the net, clearly looking to headman the pass. Forgot the puck. So Thompson takes the puck and deposits it into the Calgary net at 3:07. And all I could hear in my head was, tend the goal. Your job is to tend the goal. So Buffalo wins 1-0 in overtime on a goal that I'm sure Markstrom won't be happy about. They run their record to 21-33-8 with the overtime loss. Calgary's 37-16-8. Your shots, 7-6 Buffalo in the first, 10-8 Buffalo in the second, 12-10 Buffalo in the third, and 5-0 Buffalo in the overtime. Final shots 34-24 for the Sabres, who were playing a second half of a back-to-back and got destroyed 6-1 by Edmonton last night. Final shots, 34-24 Buffalo. Power plays, Buffalo 0 for 3, Calgary 0 for 1. Hits, 23-17 Calgary. Tokarski saves all 24 shots for his second career shutout. And Markstrom saves 33 out of 34. Does not get the shutout. If we'd gone to a shootout, both goalies would have had the shutout in this one. That being said, moving along. Florida. So the Florida Panthers in against the Anaheim Ducks. And Florida, I guess they decided enough of this. And they woke up. They looked like Florida tonight. Or, conversely, this is an Anaheim team that's traded Manson. Lindholm's not in the lineup. And I think the guys understand we've made this push towards the playoffs, but we're basically not going to make it. Plus, when you have those two defensemen not in your lineup anymore, it really makes a big difference. So Ducks get a power play. They don't score during that. The shots are 5-1 for the Panthers at 5.5 minutes. So the Panthers are controlling things pretty well here. Ekblad gets hurt in a collision. It looked bad. So this is going to potentially change what Florida does. And it's odd because you have Hampus Lindholm sitting out. Maybe the Panthers, if Ekblad's going to be out for a long time, if he has to go on LTIR, maybe they're going to make that call about Hampus Lindholm. Maybe they don't even have to make the call. You know, Bill Zito can just go over and talk to Pat Verbeek and say, hey, so Lindholm. Anyways, Zegras then has a rush chance that's saved. We get a fight between Gudas and Delorier. Panthers get the power play out of that. Reinhardt's denied. The power play's killed off. Panthers press with 8.5 minutes left. They draw themselves another power play. They score on this one. It's Huberdeau from Reinhardt and Ekblad at 13:54. And then with 7 seconds left, Dom's MVP of the league scores again. It's Huberdeau from Barkov and Marchment at 19:53. So it's 2-0 Florida after the first. Second period, Panthers press at 2 minutes. There's an open net for Comtois. He misses it. Puck goes the other way. Thornton doesn't miss it. He scores from Achari and Verhaeghe at 3:44. The Ducks would then get some pressure. Some of the first pressure they had in the game that looked really dangerous. Lettieri was denied during that. Ducks have been really badly outplayed. The score being 3-0. That's accurate. That was accurate to how well Florida was playing tonight. Pressed by the Ducks with 7.5 minutes left. Gibson saves when the Panthers push back. The shots are 12-5 for the Panthers with 6 minutes left. Then there's a delay of game call, gives the Panthers a power play. So they had 57 seconds of power play time to start the third period, already up 3-0. The Ducks did finish the kill. Huberdeau blasts one wide. The Panthers press. The shots are 3-1 in their favor at 6.5 minutes. So again, the Ducks just wasn't there tonight for them. And again, it's understandable. Shattenkirk has a chance that's blocked. Knight really not busy, but he was sharp when he had to be. So when he had those opportunities, he looked good. Terry has a rush chance that was saved. Lundestrom, Lettieri both had near misses at the net. Panthers end up getting a power play. There was a crossbar for Reinhardt during that power play. That's killed off. Comtois dislikes Marchment, did everything to goad him into a penalty, and Marchment's just like, no. So, yeah, Comtois is out of the game. So it's power play for the Panthers with 1:23 left. Verhaeghe nearly adds one, but in the end, your final score is 3-0 for Florida. They go to 42-14-6 with the win. The Ducks 27-26-11 with the loss. Your shots in this one favor Florida all the way through. 19-4 in the first, 15-8 in the second, 8-5 in the third. Final shots 42-17 Florida. Power plays Florida goes 1 for 5. Anaheim 0 for 1. Hits 28-21 Florida. Knight saves all 17 shots for his first career NHL shutout. Gibson saves 39 out of 42 in the loss. So, yeah, Florida, they've got to be happier with that than basically almost every other game on this road trip. This is Florida hockey here, kind of. Third period was a little bit more subdued than I'm used to seeing with Florida, but they weren't at home, so maybe that's the difference maker. Next up, Colorado. So Colorado manages to hang on in this one, but it got hairy. So Francouz versus Sawchenko in this one. Avs press at a minute and a half. Sawchenko saves. The shots are 3-0 Colorado at 5.5 minutes. They were very strong early in this game. Sharks are under siege for most of the early play in this. The first shot, the Sharks score. So it's Couture that gets the goal, but it's reviewed and it's offside. So the puck, that comes off the board. We then get a power play for the Sharks. That leads to a shorthanded chance for Nichushkin, which was saved. There's a shorthanded fast break for Helm. He was denied, so the Avs kill it off. The Avs then get a power play, and they score on theirs. It's Nazem Kadri getting the power play marker from Rantanen and Makar at 10:18. It had been a while since Kadri scored, so maybe it's a sign he's going to start getting it going again. We then had a fight between McDermott and Middleton. And then on a turnover by Erik Karlsson, he was getting bothered in front of the net, and he gives up the puck. Helm scores at 14-14, so it becomes 2-0 for Colorado there. Kadri then has a chance that's saved and held. Compher and Vlasic kind of had a little whatever. That leads to a 4-on-4 with 11 seconds left. So during the 4-on-4 to start the second, Colorado scores again. It's Makar from McKinnon and Taves at 34 seconds. And after that, we get rushes both ways. The Sharks had a post as well during that. Balcers is then denied from in close. The Sharks get a power play. That's killed off. The shots are 3 apiece at the half. Again, San Jose was playing better against Colorado than Anaheim was against Florida, but at this point, the scores look very similar. Sharks get another power play. Barabanov fires one high on a break chance. The Avs do kill it off, and then Nichushkin. He scores from McCarr and McKinnon at 15:29. The Sharks go back to the power play. That's unsuccessful, so it's 4-0. But 19-19, the Sharks get on the board. It's Viel tipping one in from Vlasic and Milosh. So Viel with his 3rd goal of the year. Not bad. And yeah, so 4-1 after 2. This game's over. It's not. 3rd period, good start for the Sharks. They end up getting a power play. Nichushkin blocks a shot with his hand. That looked painful. He stays in the game, though. Shorthanded Taves chance was saved. We then had a shorthanded 2-on-1 that nearly deflects in, but that's killed off. Scrummy after a save by Francouz. Sharks had momentum, but they're still down by 3 at this point. So it still looks like Colorado's going to hang on, right? Pressed by the Sharks at 9 minutes. Rantanen fires one wide on a rush. And then it's Balcers. He scores from Barabanov and Hurdle at 13:02. So San Jose makes it a 2-goal game. They pull the goaltender with 3.5 minutes left. There's an icing by Colorado with 2:01 left. VL's then denied on the next shift. Carlson was not. He fires it. He scores from Couture at 18:35. All of a sudden, it's 4-3. So they pull the goalie again. San Jose also calls a timeout with 35.5 seconds left. But Colorado would add the empty netter. It's Nichushkin from McKinnon and Rantanen in 1945. And it's one of those empty net goals where it's, well, you take it. No, you take it. You take it. And finally, they give it to Nichushkin. He takes it. And your final score is 5-3. Colorado goes to 44-13-5. They have 91 points already. They win 3 more games. They're pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot. They could lose everything else. San Jose 26-27-8. They fall back below NHL 500. Your shots in this one, 10-7 Colorado in the first, 10 apiece in the second, 11-9 San Jose in the third. Final shots 29-28 for Colorado. Power plays, Colorado 1-for-1. San Jose 0-for-5. So that's a big part of the reason San Jose doesn't pull this one out. Hits 20-11 San Jose. Francouz saves 25 out of 28. Sawchenko saves 24 out of 28. I thought Sawchenko had a decent game. There's some upside to that young goaltender, so we'll see what kind of look he might get for San Jose next season. Obviously, with them signing Hurdle to that big extension, they have visions of getting back into the playoffs next year, or at least getting back into the hunt. That being said, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding tonight's games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. So from me, from Shadow, who just exited, and from Licorice here, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.